Yo. Episode 3, Hard to Start, Fantasy Podcast. Y'all know what it is. We coming back every week. We got 2 shows for you. But look, before we get into it, right, we tell y'all about this ALB, this league we in. We got a special guest here, man. ALB member, man, Ryan, man. Tell him who you is, man.
Man, you know what I'm saying? 2-time champ, setting the standard and all that. You know what I'm talking about, man. I'm out here just, I need 3. It's real simple business.
I need
to go
3.
home. I need 3.
So you got 2 rings.
2 rings, man.
So look, y'all know we got this champ here, right? But what you say about the rings, let's just throw it out there. This is what goes on.
How many you got in the live draft era?
Look, man, look.
You got the stats on the computer.
You comparing what just happened. I've been did this. I'm success across the board.
You did it. It's like what would BJ say? It was like before black
before
players.
It was black players.
You didn't kill it there, but look, I'm gonna keep it all around. Everyone y'all know when the playoffs roll around, you see your name match that you should. Let's talk the truth about it. You know what I'm saying? We look at the game.
You might be Mr. Average too.
Live draft era, man. Hey, he got the 2 rings though, man.
Live draft era, different.
I think you just might have went 0-2 just now. Woodrow, shout out to Wood, man. He got tell us what happened, man.
What happened? Got me already knew coming into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm down. I'm up 13. He got OBJ to play. That's like, man.
He got you.
He got him. He had him anyway. He 0-2. We'll keep y'all updated on him.
You're starting off 0-2.
I'm starting off 0-2, but it ain't the first time, man. I like putting in work. I like earning my money. I need something to make
it. Guccini. At Guccini JD. Twitter.com.
Man.
JD, you know we got Killer Curse, Beyonce. JD, how you doing this week?
Still ups and downs, bruh. Winning in one league, losing in the other, bruh. It can't be the whole 2-0, you know what I mean, to try and make this push. But you know, this how it's going, bro. This how this should be, man. Ups and downs, man.
Ups and downs, man. Hey, be competitive. How you do, champ? That's champ, man.
Oh man, I put up highest points this week. Good.
We talking about points.
He don't want to talk about
week of the year right now.
You don't want to talk about points because you lowest points probably.
Man, hey, I'm 2-0. I just beat him, and I just ran through my rival G. Take a shot at what's that? What you
do? That's that Casa Azul. Shout out to my nigga G right here, man.
Hey, he gonna take that shot for G because I just whooped G. I don't remember the last time he beat me.
108.
Hey, 112. I won. It is what it is, man. You know.
112.
Hey, look, just like ups and downs in this league. Hey, look, let's just get straight into it, right? Because we just watched the Monday Night Football game. What? Can we get some intake on that right quick? What y'all think about the Browns?
Hey, fuck Freddie Kitchens. That's how I feel right now. Straight out.
He lost his shove.
Did not want to get shit on the ball, bro. I come into tonight, man, like down 30, 29, something like that. But I got Chubb playing, right? And this nigga, he get to getting loose for a little second, but then they get to not giving him the ball full time. And now here it is, I lose by 11 points, 10 points or some shit like that, knowing damn well if he could have got a couple more plays.
So did you think they kind of gave Chubb his workload and what you
they did. But he, I still needed 11 more points though.
How many touches did he get?
Oh shit. 15, 16, I think. Scored on one. Got a couple receptions. I mean, it's still a little fresh to me, but you know, it is what it is. But, bro, get him the ball, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Kitchens was because
I ain't gonna lie, it feels good not to have that Monday night game stresses on your mind.
Woo!
I went to sleep good last night.
It's a fucked up feeling, bro.
I went to sleep on a comfortable 166 and just,
Yeah.
all good last night.
It depends on what side you on them though, because man, when you going in and you got one of them heaters that next night, you're like, oh yeah, that's good.
I still fucked up on not playing Mozart though. It could have cost me. I got lucky. Shout out to New England defense. In our league, I got 43 points.
Hey, matter of fact,
43?
Hey, since you just said that, let's talk about that right quick.
I'd have beat him
while we in our recap.
In New England defense.
While we in our recap, Patriots D in standard league like 37 points, but Man, what y'all think about that D? Think how nasty they was going into the Super Bowl playoffs last year. They starting now. They might be the best defense in the league.
Yeah, but they played the Patriots, my bad, bro. They played the fucking Dolphins this week, though, bro.
Still, though.
They raw.
They
Nah,
shut
but
down
I'm just
teams
saying.
and players, bro. I don't know, man. That New England D is looking serious.
I mean, they treated them. You play a weak team, people will be like, "Oh, we played a weak team," but you gotta treat them like
you gotta play them like
this.
this.
That's what they
It's still the league. Everybody out there can ball. You don't show up, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna put up points on you, but I ain't gonna lie though, man, because it burned me. You know what I'm saying? The Dolphins, they a dumpster fire, bro. They're literally giving it up. So the Patriots, shout out to them, do what they gotta do. You know what I'm saying? You get the turnovers, you return them for touchdowns.
Exactly.
That's big though.
Man,
you gotta do that.
We say this every week, and I think the whole world knows this. Start everybody versus the Dolphins.
Right.
But look, let's jump into while we talking about the Pats. Let's talk about how great AB has been, and what y'all think it's gonna do to them other players, man.
I don't think it's gonna fuck with Edelman as much as Gordon. It look like it's gonna look at that boy.
Hey, we got G live on the podcast, man.
Yeah,
That's a loser right there, 0-2, man. And we feel with the podcast. We gotta go, man. Yeah, hey, we'll be back, man. Watch and get some tips. 0-2. Hey, but look, so look, who gonna suffer the most though out of the wide receivers and the running backs over there?
So
man?
I got AB and I got Gordon on one team, and I'm gonna be honest, it's probably gonna be I got Gordon and
Little Sacramento.
I got AB and Nash. It's bad though, man. Like honestly, I feel like with Tom, it can really go week to week. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll spread it around, but AB's gonna end up eating and probably taking away carries from Gordon off rip. I mean, carries and touches from Gordon off rip because he's not really a deep route runner like that. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a lot of 5 to 10 yard routes that the Patriots like to run. So if they're sending him on deep routes the whole game, AB and Edelman's gonna eat those targets all day.
See, it seemed like they was just like force feeding AB, just knowing. I think that he's like that possession receiver and that deep ball. So it's kind of like Edelman, he gonna suffer. I feel like he's gonna eat, but he gonna suffer. And I feel like Josh Gordon was already boom or bust without AB.
Yeah.
Because he get 4 or 5 targets.
So,
They gotta be a big play because he's not running routes catching this big play. So I think his value was already bad, and it's definitely gonna be bad.
So is AB by week? What is this? The second week? So 3, 4, 5. So in 5 games, week 7, week 8, will he be clear out his Brady's number 1 wide receiver?
I think he walked into this
As the number 1 right now. My bad, bro. You
Yeah,
think so?
I mean, who else?
Yeah.
I still think it's Edelman.
You still
That's
think
his
it's
guy.
Edelman?
Like, they got
In
rings,
5 weeks?
like I feel like right now, like he know where Edelman gonna be.
No, I hear you.
Like okay, when the time get tough, like Edelman finna be here and he gonna catch the rock. AB the most talented receiver on the team for sure, but he gonna be the guy too. Like it's gonna be enough for them to both eat. They gonna both get 75 receptions and
Right,
and
facts.
all that. AB gonna be AB.
I think he will be because nigga, it only took Josh Gordon so many weeks for Tom Brady to be his number 1 dude when he was on the field, even with Gronk there last year. He was the one that he was throwing more bombs to and whatnot, even though that's not what it's all about. But I think that, like you said, AB being the most talented over there, it ain't going to take them dudes but 5-6 weeks to get on that page, and it's going to be some real...
But see, the thing with Brady is that quarterback where he's going to put the ball where you're supposed to be when you're breaking out that route.
Yeah.
He's perfect with knowing where that. So once that's a match made in
Yeah, I
heaven.
think so.
All their names of who killed in the Super Bowl.
Huh?
Who eat in the Super Bowl?
Hey.
You named everybody but Edelman with Gordon and Gronk and blah,
Well, Gordon wasn't there in the Super Bowl. Josh Gordon didn't play in the Super
I feel
Bowl.
like if it's a close game, though, it's going to be Edelman. If it's a close game,
I mean, don't get me wrong. AB gonna be
mean-
his number 1 guy, but I'm saying like Edelman ain't finna be hurt.
No,
Like,
I
he ain't
understand
gonna be- he
that.
ain't gonna be hot.
I think if
But,
anybody
hey,
wins, it's Edelman.
Look, I'm going to say this. I always hear this stat. Edelman has never been a top 15 receiver in his whole career. I don't know why people grab him so early I know he'll get you that 15, 18, but
Nah, it's
with
because
AB
he don't
there,
run them
barring
deep routes.
suspension, which I don't think he's gonna get suspended. You got Robert Kraft is the owner. He get out of this stuff like this. That's over. They gonna pay her under the table. Whatever lies she coming up with.
But him just coming out the same situation.
He gonna be full of
OG know. OG can feel it.
Man,
Like,
come
I got
on,
something
man.
for you.
Look, I know we talk about since we talking about receivers and who gonna be hurt. man, Julio and Ridley, you think they're gonna hurt you? I think they both eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like AB and Edelman, like we were just saying, they both two niggas can eat on the same
White,
team
but
too.
White and come on, that's kind of it's
But
other.
you was a good
White,
point to what you just said because Edelman
Gordon.
ain't the Edelman not the top 15. Because what kind of routes he run? He run 5, 6, 7 yard route. And what do the Patriots do when they face a good team? What do? Get the ball out
quickly.
They only got the ball in his hand for 2 seconds.
But see, now
That's Edelman.
But see, I'm gonna be honest.
And AB though. Too.
That's where Josh Gordon's gonna end up winning though, because you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have to double down on AB. You might not double Edelman that much, you know what I'm saying, depending on the matchup, but you're gonna double up AB. And when you do that, you got Gordon coming. I mean, one to one, I'm taking that shot every time.
So you see how you can play, man.
You got both of them niggas starting, bro?
No, I don't got them on the same team. That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to G. I'm a big difference. He got that.
I was finna
I
say.
don't do
Both not on the same team.
Let's get back to the man. Julio, really. And I ain't talking about Julio because I got him, but really, I got really in 2 leagues.
So what you was just saying though, if there's 2 receivers that you could start on the same lineup, it's those 2.
Who else? It got to be another 2. I think them 2 for sure. Can we count receiver running backs? Running backs that get a lot of receptions? Or they can't count?
Straight
That's a
receiver.
good stat. I mean, it's a stat.
Straight receiver.
Oh,
I think Julio and Ridley, that's, man.
I don't know if there's another pair that
Godwin and Mike Evans, but Mike Evans got to pick it up.
Getting this
He got to
shit
pick
together.
it
Got
up.
to get this shit
Yeah,
together.
but that's all. Evans will be. But see, that's the thing. When God was going off, Evans drops off. Like it's something about his confidence gets shook or something. See him, it's something, he just falls off.
Evans ain't the route runner. Godwin is.
And then Godwin's going to eat regardless because he's in the slot and he's big too. So it ain't just like here's a dude you just tearing up in the middle when he catches. Godwin's big, so
he like a Cooper Cup.
He getting, you know what I mean? He getting there. I love Godwin.
I mean, you got
for that reason. But I also think that Mike Evans been getting them shadow coverages and all that. That's gonna end soon. They got to. They can't just let God would get, you know.
But I mean, you might be able to because if Godwin just eats you up the middle, boom, boom. But Mike Evans that big play factor. Maybe that's what they going for. Maybe we just won't let Mike Evans beat us.
And that would make him be if he's a big play capable, that would make him
every time
a bad person to have in the lineup when you gotta make all this big play. Let's talk about somebody else that ain't slowing down. Pat Mahomes. Woo.
Oh my God.
Look, man. Hey, I'm going to still salute it, man, because I said it at the draft. When you grabbed him in the 3rd, I was like, fuck!
I whispered the smack over there. I said, I'm finna whoop these.
Look,
I'm going to say this before y'all catch me. I'm going to say this before y'all catch me and say it happened. I drafted Diggs 2 spots before Mahomes.
damn.
Look, hey.
And Godwin.
Look, Diggs was not going in the 3rd for me. I didn't care what was happening.
That's a bad pick. Shout out to Diggs.
JD, what you think about Mahomes, man?
Man, and what it is that boy staying aggressive, bro. I think I seen something where them niggas is like, they got like over 3 or 4 plays that's over 30 yards in 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
That nigga is going down the field, bro.
Even if they're up.
Bro.
I mean, why you can't not with the speed they got. I mean, I think they got, 4 receivers that all ran sub 4.4s? 4.
Crazy, bro.
Most teams carry 5 on their roster, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 6 for that special team. Four of your top 5 run sub 4.4.
Yeah.
And you got a quarterback that can put it on a dime 50 yards down the field.
I just can't wait for Tyrese to come back.
Even when they up though,
they
are not running the ball.
That's Andy, but when has Andy Reid ever done that though? Like ever, you know what I'm saying? Even when you had McNabb going crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They wasn't slowing down to run the ball at all either. I mean, that's Andy Reid. So you got Mahomes, man.
They be having them little scat backs like that just they dump it off too.
But
so that's why Mahomes a good person to have
right. But when Tyreek come back though, bro, it's not gonna be a lot of them games where them other options, Hardman and Robinson, and you know what I mean, them niggas once he'll come back. And it's only gonna be a couple of niggas that you can throw out there every week from them dudes, though, bro. That's how I feel.
Just Williams and Kelsey and Hill.
Yeah. You gonna have a real hard to start in your hands when he'll come back.
Yeah, well,
facts.
No, I mean,
I like Robinson though. I like Robinson more than Hardman.
Just bench all of them except Hill when he come back.
Without a doubt,
because it's gonna be a different one every week. But we would. I'm glad y'all said it. We definitely gonna get into Hardman and what's the name later in the show for sure. Matter of fact, let's jump into let's get back to the biggest news. I think the biggest news is probably Big Ben and Breeze out.
Oh yeah.
Them is Father Time. We used to seeing them there every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Big Ben
I was
occasionally.
saying Big
You know
Ben
what I
don't
mean?
really surprise me, but Breeze being out, that's gonna hit. That's gonna hurt.
Right.
As far as like beneficiaries and like the biggest losers though, who y'all think were like the Steelers? Let's start with the Steelers. Biggest losers in that situation with Ben out. And don't get me wrong, I kind of like Rudolph though. They've been grooming him to take Big Ben's spot for the last few years.
He got a high draft pick, so he gonna.
I think it's Juju. Because Juju's gonna be the biggest one because Big Ben will force feed you. You know what I'm saying? He'll look for you 20 times in the game, no doubt. Rudolph, while he'll spread the ball around, I don't think he's not that quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He'll give you a solid 10 to 12 targets, but I don't see you getting 15, 18, 22, not to one target. Not when you got those weapons. Nah.
That's a lot of targets.
I take 12 targets.
12 targets is a lot.
12 targets is a lot.
Don't get that though.
Yeah, Juju, he got 16 targets in 2 games with 11 receptions, and he got 162 yards. And the nigga, the production there, he just not scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is.
Offense
So
is in shambles. It
Yeah.
seems like AB really, AB really kind of hurt.
yeah, nah, I mean just not AB alone, but I mean with fucking Le'Veon and also motherfucking Shazier too though. It seemed like it's been a whole domino effect, nigga. The year that Shazier went out, them niggas was arguably there. I mean, they
Just
had
got Fitzpatrick. That's crazy.
man, without a doubt, real talk. So I don't think they that far behind, and from the little highlights that I had seen of when Rudolph came in, though, he looked like he knew what he was doing, bro. I don't think he's that far behind. So
right there,
without a
He
doubt.
might be better than Big Ben. I didn't think he was going to miss.
He's a
I
player.
didn't think Big Ben was going to last the
I
whole
wouldn't
year.
even-
He's a player, but see, that's that thing of are you a better real life player than a fancy player?
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's a
Don't
good
fall in love
real
with the
life
game.
athlete.
Fall in love
Without
with
a
the
doubt,
Facts.
without a doubt, and I don't think nobody's finna go get Rudolph to throw out there to go start right now. You might win.
BJ might.
Yeah,
Shout
you
out to
might.
BJ.
right now.
I've been trying to trade with that nigga today too, though. But fantasy wise, I don't think you gonna go get Rudolph, but I don't think also that Juju's production doesn't drop because it's surely there. I don't know what quarter Big Ben got hurt, but this nigga still's averaging 8 targets a game, bro. Damn near like 5 catches, almost 6 catches a game, bro. So like I said, the production's there. And then, but I think that Connor shit is up in the air right now too, though, with him being hurt and he really ain't doing nothing right now. You know what I
You
mean?
got Juju.
Connor gonna be
That's
there.
I got Juju.
That's what it is. Because I feel the same way about Michael Thomas because Breeze just got hurt, but that's all.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
what
but
Juju-
I don't think he's. I think that if we gonna go talk about the Saints right now, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater give him 2 weeks, even though they play a few good defenses in
That's what I'm
Seattle
saying.
and Dallas. But I think Teddy Bridgewater will be able to carry them niggas for 6 weeks. But I just
I
don't think
say
He's
in
gotta run
about
with the
4 or
ones in
5
practice
weeks,
and shit.
Taysom Hill gonna be starting.
He could
to
be.
honest.
He could
I
be.
think.
I've
But I
never
would
seen him
say
go
this.
fast.
But about Pittsburgh,
Mhm.
how bad is Connor's injury? They saying he's still gonna play on Sunday.
I think
It's
so.
not bad.
I'm gonna
That's what
say
I'm
this.
saying.
I'm gonna say this.
But yeah.
I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh, but just them going to get Minka, giving up a first, which he's well worth it. I think they like their young defense a lot.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to win games on running the ball, smart throws, but I also think they can unleash Rudolph though, because like I said, he knows the system. This is second, third year
Second, third year.
that he's been behind Ben, the second year, and then you know who else? James Washington.
They went to college together.
They went to college.
That's what I was just
That's
gonna
the one
say.
I thought. That's one of the biggest.
They've been waiting for him.
Y'all can't win it.
And again, that's when he got the most reps with. Like whenever you see
Oh, yeah,
somebody
he
go
for sure.
down, man.
But
Yeah,
that's
even
good.
It's always a second
Right,
string.
that's
Shout out to
good.
Will. We was just talking
Hey.
about that second string.
Free
Always
practice,
work out
that's
with the
what
back
that's
end.
for.
If they got that connection like they did back in
They gonna-
college, my
they
nigga
about
gonna
to
eat
eat.
because he
They
gonna.
about to eat.
But
But
that's
somebody
also-
else gonna step up
0 and
though.
2, they gotta see what they
Oh,
got.
yeah,
with
without a
Rudolph.
doubt. But look though,
And Vance was going off too.
Vance
Oh,
going on.
that's a
So
beneficiary.
that's
of
another
tight
benefit.
end.
So with
Yeah.
us saying that, I think Juju shit do go down then. Because like you said, he made a good point. Ben gonna force feed his best guy,
Mhm.
and Rudolph is like, I need to make the right play. I'm not Ben.
Yeah.
I don't got that luxury to be fucking up.
Yeah.
McDonald's,
Yeah.
you know, them young, like you were saying earlier, them
Yeah.
young quarterbacks.
Tight end,
love
his
them
best
tight
friend.
ends.
I'm telling you, it's always your best rate because it's the biggest target. It's always your first, you know what I'm saying, 5 yards.
Be your first
Right.
read right in front of your face.
With McDonald, you're talking about somebody who literally has the same speed as like a Kittle, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that if he breaks it loose, he's breaking loose.
I'm mad the Niners didn't keep him.
Man,
Yeah.
y'all didn't have
he
some
was
tight
hugging
ends.
with the Niners,
Man,
bro.
So
he just-
look,
yeah.
I say this, you jump with the Saints, right? So obviously, Michael Thomas, Kamara, what y'all think about they? Cook, what y'all think about
I don't
their
think the
value?
value. I don't think the value go down on
Thomas still
neither
got
one of
11.
them.
Without
11
Breeze?
He still had 11 targets.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Thomas is still that
Breeze
beast
putting
with
it where it is.
And then
He
the,
had the
My bad. Go ahead,
No,
bro.
we're good.
No, what I was gonna say is, nigga, that they was still in the game though, bro. When Breeze went down, bro, they got cheated out of a fucking
cheated out of that touchdown.
out of the touchdown, bro. Motherfucking they only gave Kamara only got like 13 touches. You know what I mean, for 40 something yards. They wasn't feeding him.
You only had
You
3
know
catches
what I mean?
too.
They probably started stacking the box though. Once
They probably was. I mean, and they was playing the Rams on the road. I mean, the Rams they ain't playing them every week. You know what I mean? But I think with them having to rely on a backup quarterback, I think that
Who wasn't expecting to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that Kamara they'll lean more on Kamara down the stretch. And I mean, with Breeze in there, Breeze wasn't throwing the ball down the field, nigga. They was 20 and less. So
Never did.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think that'll slow down with Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Kind of scaring me with that. Like if I would have thought about that before, I probably wouldn't have got Michael Thomas. Like Michael Thomas got to work a lot more for his yards.
Yeah, he do.
Yeah.
But he still had the same exact. He had the exact targets and receptions as he did last week. So
because
I think Thomas gonna be straight.
because he's not a receiver that requires, 20 touches to have an impact. You know what I'm saying? His frame and the way he runs his routes alone, he's going to be a regular
Can
part
you
of
take a
the
slant to the crib?
Yeah.
Like that's what I look for in my receivers. Like, can you take a slant to the crib? Like, that's what I want. Like OBJ should do today.
Oh, bro. I'm so mad I ain't been able to get him back. Because I
know.
know
That's crazy.
OB
Like,
won for
that
me,
was,
man.
and he won because that was right before I joined the league. So OBJ was my guy, and he was over here trying to steal him from
He
me.
didn't burn me twice. I'm cool.
He ain't never. OBJ always
I
held it
can't
down
do
for
it.
me.
I can't do it. Look, let's get into something else, right? I want to talk about Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook, barring injury, might end up being the number one running back this year.
Dalvin Cook
What
goes
y'all think?
stupid.
Yeah, right now.
He might be the most talented back. Like he always been that dude, and I would have got him in the second round, but Dalmo got him right before.
You know, I'm so
Yeah,
mad. I
Tyreek.
got him in 2 leagues except this one, bro.
Bro,
I couldn't have got it. He was gone in the second.
Look.
That's a no-brainer.
that was the thing that was killing me. The only other back that I would have took over Mixon was Fournette, but I wanted Cook.
Yeah.
But when I got one, I was like, oh, that's a wrap.
Hey,
Now I'm Mixon
Dalvin,
out the door.
Dalvin is that boy. What you think, Jay?
Bro, I'm mad this nigga's doing it this
You had him last
You
year.
know them ACL second year down there to get right.
Man,
Year
everybody won the
after.
ACL last year. It was the hammy last
That
year.
hammy come after that ACL when it ain't ran
That's
right.
right.
Fucked up, bro. But
Right.
shout out to Dalvin, man. You out there
Dalvin's
killing,
definitely
you
doing
doing
his
your
thing.
You know what I mean? I like how they invested on that O-line to get you some help. They brought in fucking Kubiak and somebody else to get their zone run scheme going, bruh. You know, shout out to the DD owners and the fucking Diggs owners. I know you niggas is lightweight stressing right now with the high draft capital on them. You know
Thielen
what I
not
mean?
going off. I don't know what Thielen doing.
Nah,
Neither one of them
He's been an
niggas.
average receiver. He's been giving 15, but he ain't getting his numbers like last
13
year.
and 9.
And I hope you know, I feel you niggas pain. You know, shout out to you niggas. You better try and sell them niggas right
It's
now.
game
'cause-
script with them.
Yeah.
It's game script.
whatever
They
they
want to
gonna
run the ball.
Yeah.
They got to be down
But-
21 to not run the
They
ball.
got Zimmer.
The other thing is too though, with offense like Kubiak, he's waiting till midseason where he play up on that run. That's why they're gonna feed it all
That's
game
type
this
of
whole
team too. The
period.
head coaches like that too.
Absolutely.
Smash mouth defense, run the ball.
So they know they can't put the game on Kirk Cousins'
Yeah,
hands.
exactly.
He's gonna lose. Like it's proven. Like he gonna win you some tough ones and. You like that? You know what I mean? But other than that,
Right.
you know what I mean? You gotta ride your defense, your running back.
But yeah, why would you when you got a top 5 back? That's what you're talking about.
And
That's
then when
how
you
I
do
feel
got
about
it though, you got like Diggs. I would say I do got Diggs, and I would love to trade him. Actually, well, Gallup.
Y'all
went
heard
down.
that AOB don't help him out.
Gallup went down, so now I'm a
Don't
little
help him out.
reluctant to trade Diggs. But
Yeah.
Diggs would have had a monster day if they didn't call that touchdown back. He'd have had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
He'd have
that's
had
true.
about 20.
He had a couple of red zone
He had,
targets too.
you know what I mean? Red zone targets. So I think
That's good.
and it will be game script with them. But he's just gonna be a player. Like at this point, week 2 going into week 3, it don't matter where you drafted the player, who's producing.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be somebody that you might look back like me, frustrated, but it's gonna be up or down. So you gotta take that. And then the flex, the way these injuries and stuff is happening. Hey, y'all better
Wait
stay
for 'em.
deep. Listen, don't trade your depth away because you want to get a 2-for-1. It's cool to do that when you deep or you got pieces, 2 quarterbacks like we talked last week, get one off. But don't trade your depth, man, because this is the year of the injury. This thing is going down already.
You jinxed it. All that injury talk last week.
But you
Yeah,
got
facts.
that.
It's
That's
just
true.
no,
Episode 2,
Matter of
episode
fact,
injury.
Go
matter of
back and
fact,
check
since we
this.
talking about
Yeah.
injury, let's talk about somebody who Father's
That's
time has touched, and that's Emmanuel Sanders. Whew.
That's
Here
bad,
eating,
bro.
bro. OG ain't playing,
He
bro.
must be a good dude, God-fearing man, loves
He's not
Oh,
on,
no, is he?
No, I'm saying to be blessed to come
after
back from that
Achilles?
injury so
Yeah,
quick.
What you lost for
looking
yesterday?
dominant though, bro.
Looking down. He had
Hey.
28 in our league PPR with about 28
Man.
points.
He cutting up.
Hey,
He beat you last
he
week.
beat me last week in fucking Ashy.
Almost
bro.
could have beat me this
And
week.
And think about where he was last year before he got hurt. He was top 15.
He was eating.
And I might be giving him, it might have been like 12.
He was
And he has a real quarterback that actually move the ball. Like,
Hey, we just talked about Flacco last
Yeah.
week. I don't know.
I'm saying-
He's still a vet though. He ain't
he's
gonna
a vet
get-
and he has an arm.
He
What
got
I'm
an
saying,
arm. He
Yeah,
got a
he got an
cannon.
arm.
when you got somebody like Sanders who can hit them short routes and take you deep, you looking for a quarterback, just get it to me, bro.
Yeah.
Just get it to me.
It might work well. I thought it was. We're gonna do that later. I was wrong on Sutton. We gonna have
Yeah, I
to
was wrong on
Emmanuel, y'all got anything to add on Emmanuel though?
Oh man.
Keep
Shit,
doing your
man,
thing.
you gotta Go get him.
He wide
Go
receiver
get
too
him.
at this point.
Yeah,
Easily.
easily.
Go get him right
Man.
now.
Easily.
You know.
And he was a sleeper
I
in the
mean, you can
draft.
start him over. I mean, you start him over what, Evans.
I would
Like Evans?
Al
Man, I got somebody. I got Alshon on
started
my
over
team. Nigga. I
Robert
got
Woods.
somebody that I'm finna tell
I
you
saw him
about.
over Titi.
Nigga,
Matter of fact,
nigga.
let's talk about another receiver. I don't mean to cut y'all off.
Sure.
I'm kind of excited about some of these receivers that's taking these leaps these next year, like Galladay. Galladay was my guy. Y'all know that.
Yeah, he was a
I
Galladay
wish I had him
guy.
this
Yeah.
year. I didn't believe, but what y'all think about Galladay? You know they was calling him baby Megatron a while ago.
Right.
Is he going up to
He
grab
bagged
it?
everything.
Damn,
Hey,
bro.
I don't got him. I'm not
Oh,
being
yeah,
biased. I don't
no,
have
no,
him at
no,
no
no.
leagues. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
he raw. Galladay raw. And it was hella
Galladay, he
people-
going up to catch it like this. Just
Right,
throw it.
bro.
It was hella people sitting him last week, like on the
Oh,
little
yeah.
fantasy shows, talking about sick Galladay, going to
Wow,
Casey
God,
Hayward.
Look, don't look. Anytime you got a gunslinger like Matt Stafford, you better not sit Galladay.
They ain't been scoring no points, but he's slinging it. But it's something missing. They gotta fix that quick. You got all these weapons, and you can't. You putting up 13.
Marvin
I mean,
Jones
I wish they were gonna
Yeah, but they played the Chargers. The Chargers ain't no slouches
Chargers
though,
ain't
bro.
Chargers ain't
On
no
everything.
It's early though. It's
So
quick.
it's
And,
early
and
though,
that's the
bro.
other thing too. Like a lot of offense, I know a lot of people panicking getting rid of dudes. Man, you gotta understand the first 3-4 weeks of the NFL season, your offensive line is trying to adjust. That's all adjustments. You gotta
Offense-
Offenses for
Period.
show is behind in the first.
Unless you're Mahomes and them well-oiled
Yeah,
Brady's and
got engine.
In New England, that's it.
Right.
Galladay, he's nice. Ooh, I know another thing. All 49. Hey, we start. We 2-0, but it's early. We ain't. You know, there was some weak teams. Hey, the Niners though. But anyway, y'all know what it is. Hey, the Niners running backs.
We about to
Hey,
be 3-0.
What about the Niners
Pick
running
coming
backs,
in.
man? Is it start all of them or what? Man.
Relax.
Maybe not Wilson.
Cowboys fan. Cowboys fan.
Relax. I'm saying.
Cowboy fan.
Man,
Hey, start all of them.
Hey, no, I wouldn't
Not
start
Wilson.
Wilson. Without
But he
a
should
doubt.
be picked up though.
Yeah, without a
He
doubt,
should be
bro.
picked up.
But you definitely can put Breida in there and Mostert.
Breed is a must start.
RB2,
Period.
RB2,
Yeah.
maybe RB1,
Yeah.
Mozart, flex play.
this is a breakout year for Breida hands down. Hands down, this is a breakout year for him.
Without a doubt, bro.
Nice.
I
I
mean-
mean, his feet.
Bro. I mean, look at what Mostert did on the screenplay, bro.
Yeah, nah, I mean the outside zone runs is killing for us.
If
right
I
now.
had Moser right now, I'd be trying to sell him to somebody who need a running back because they got one game versus the Steelers and they go on a bye. Then another week, Tevin Coleman just gonna be that much closer to coming back, and you ain't even gonna use Moser for 2 weeks. Why you know what I mean? So if I had Moser, I'm trying to attack somebody that needs a running back and go get that. You know what I mean?
If
Wilson, I
you
don't
find
know
a
if I'm
dummy-
sitting on Wilson.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
not
busting
busting
down.
him.
Somebody
I'm not
trying to do. Somebody trying
Everybody
to
gonna
down.
do that.
Unless you got Breida and Moser.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. That's just what I think. But I think Wilson, I don't see where he could have a spot on somebody's bench.
He's
No,
a
he
stash.
can't.
He's a stash because let's be honest, man. Niners backs don't stay healthy. That's one thing that doesn't happen. So that's a stash for
I mean, it's a volatile position too, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Which is why sometimes people lose their leagues because of the running backs they pick early. Because of the injuries that happen. You know what I mean? Just, that's what
That's
I
why
feel.
they're called handcuffs.
Without a
But
doubt.
like you said, even when Coleman come out, just because of that, I still think you got to roster Mozart.
I would. Without a doubt, I definitely would.
Most of it's taking carries, period. You know what I'm saying? He's taking carries. It doesn't matter what happens the rest of the year.
And not even he's not even getting crazy amount of touches. He just doing shit with them touches. He only had like 13 touches, 14 touches.
But ain't that how Brady got his spot? Because Brady was only seeing like 2 and 5 touches, but when he was busting off 10, 12 yards.
Hey, you know what's crazy? In the first episode, y'all remember, we go over some things we got wrong so far and got right. But them two were real advocates of starting both 49er running backs, you know what I mean? Because they going to eat both of them. And, hey, they was completely right. You know, I'm a Niner
240.
Shanahan, bro.
Shanahan, 240 yards on the ground yesterday, my nigga.
You can run with that.
The third and the fourth string.
We on the
the third and the fourth string running backs, nigga, had touchdowns, bro. And the second string, nigga, had 100 and some yards, nigga, on 13 carries.
And a touchdown.
Everybody
and had
eats
another
beat.
one called back.
Everybody eats beat. Check me out, though, man.
Hey, look, let's say that. You got something to add?
I mean, I gotta give him credit though, because you know what I'm saying. I talk a lot of shit to Niner fans.
Don't have no hate, man.
Look, y'all deserve hate half the time because y'all been talking reckless. But you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna keep it a G though. That was a good defense that y'all went against. You know what I'm saying? They did that too. You know what I'm saying? They got their offensive challenges, but the Bengals front seven ain't no joke. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like Tampa's defense is pretty solid too.
Yeah, especially with Thursday.
So now I feel like and Jameis wasn't that bad. Maybe we just made him look bad. Jameis seen it when that Niners secondary.
Relax.
Okay.
See, you're not gonna jump it out the window.
Quan on Sunday though.
Quan, I know we drafted Bosa and got Ford, but Quan is the
man. That nigga's everywhere, bro. Oh my goodness,
crazy,
man. Nigga Greenlaw, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, look, let's stay in the NFC West, right?
Kilo.
Come on,
let's
We
can go all day about the Niners.
You're right, lying. This gonna be the Niners podcast.
So look, right?
That's why I'm on here to shake that shit.
That's what you got. Hey, go check Croc Time out, man. He always talk about the Niners.
Hey, I just followed him on Twitter
Croc
too.
Time, shout out to
shit.
Croc, man. There you go. Hey, look, right? So look, let's stay in NFC West, Seattle. Russell and them receivers. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Man, who want to start it
Russ
off?
top three QB right now.
The Niners nightmare. I'm just saying.
Fantasy wise?
I'm just saying.
Let's stick to fantasy. Let's get back to fantasy.
I'm just saying.
Period. Fantasy and
top 5 or top 3?
No, period. Maybe not over Lamar. Maybe not. But yeah, period. NFL top 3 quarterback. Russ.
No, he top 5.
He top 5 for sure.
The percentage of how much when they score that is him is crazy. He's part of every scoring opportunity except the running back.
No, I understand that, but just if we just talking overall, I gotta go with Brady because he been doing it. Then I gotta go motherfucking Rodgers, nigga, just based on. And
just
then,
fantasy?
Right no, just overall, nigga. If we talking fantasy, then it's gonna be Mahomes, nigga, Jackson, and motherfucking.
Brady. Or Russ.
No, Brady.
Brady. Right now, Brady.
They playing Boston now. December, November.
That's fine. It ain't with it.
Winter
still gonna, they still gonna be letting that bitch fly.
With them receivers, come on, man.
For real. But yeah, though. So who do you say? Overall.
No, I'm just asking. I don't think he top.
Are they we talk about because you don't think of everybody was drafting Lockett kind of high because he was the number 1 threat. We knew DK was raw talent, but I'm saying like expecting you knew what to expect with Carson in a running game, but just like I think like Lockett and Metcalf are damn near must start. I ain't gonna say must start. It's about what your team, who you got on your team. But if you need somebody, Lockett on top.
No,
but I'm liking
DK.
DK. I'm liking DK a little more just because Lockett might get you that 40. Right? He can win you them games when you need something crazy. But I feel like DK is going to be a solid 15.
Hey, that nigga's going to my flex right now, bro.
I feel like DK might be the Ridley of this year. You feel me? Like
I agree with that, bro.
So 700 yards and 10 touchdowns?
That's 1,000
damn near.
That's nasty.
Y'all higher on DK than me.
Yeah. You ain't seen what he did.
I like DK, but if he don't got them touchdowns, then what is it?
He didn't score last week.
He didn't score last week.
He had about 40.
He didn't score last week.
He didn't score last week.
He had 140.
I'm not saying I don't fuck with him, but I like Lockett more because Lockett will get you them underneath.
Lockett only need one play.
And he gonna get exactly. So he can hit you.
DK only need one play too,
running go routes. That's
it.
But
it's the same thing. That's reason.
Man.
But I feel like this the reason why you got to give DK so much of a look is because the same reason what you started this conversation on. Russ being the top 5, I'll say top 5 in the NFL. I'll give him that. I'll go up the list a little bit later. But when you look at what he does with the ball in his hands and how much time he creates, come on, man. DK break off on a route, you know what I'm saying, on a yard play, and you got a quarterback who can get it there. But that's what I'm saying. Because you got
you just throw that jump ball at DK.
You feel me? And, you know what I'm saying? In the scramble drill, it's like, okay, I see DK with one person on. I'm chucking it.
I think if I'm offering some trades right now with some big names, I'm definitely looking at players like DK and John Ross to get somebody just to throw him in. You know what I mean? Or DJ Chark. You know what I mean? Like, let me get these. They got some real high upside. You know what I mean? To throw in on some trades.
Okay.
And I'm also targeting players like that to buy low when people ain't really looking at them like a gun.
That's like Debo too, though. Debo's in that match right now. Is one of them.
I'm higher on Debo than DK.
Both of them is right there on the low right now that you need to go try and target right now and see if
I'm gonna say this: if we talk about how good Frisco D is, I feel like Seattle's D is weaker, and that it'll be more pass opportunity.
Oh yeah,
if we talk about fantasy, but I love Debo though.
Right.
I love Debo.
I say right now their defense is weaker. Yeah. I think by week 5, 6,
they'll be better.
Matter of fact, look, we love and Russ. Y'all saying what? Like he might finish the year. What you saying? Top 5?
Top 5 easy
in fantasy.
He probably can.
Top 5.
I ain't gonna jump out there and say he will.
Finish at 5.
I hope he do, because that means DK finna go crazy, and I got DK. So Russ, let's do it, man. Know everything.
I feel you. Oh, matter of fact, look, let's just jump into one more thing this week that we're saying. And I know a lot of times last week everybody was saying, they play the Dolphins. Is Lamar Jackson the top 2 QB? What you think? Because he's looking like top 2 right now.
Because of his legs,
Mahomes, Jackson, and Brady.
You know that nigga done threw for almost 600 yards in 2 games, bro.
To combine it with his, with his legs, is he gonna score?
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely got to be top 2, top 3 scoring fantasy the rest of the season. But I do want to see what happens with Ingram though, because I mean he should get you a lot of carries, but right now the way it's looking.
I think Ingram going. He already banged up with the shoulder. I just think they got enough running backs to where they. I'm gonna say this, not to cut you off about that, but I think that the best thing that Jackson got going for him is a wonderful, great coach. You feel me? Like the positions that Harbaugh is gonna put him in, like how they did with Cat. You know what I mean? I think he could throw much better than Cat. He got touch. I think he's going to be better than like a Cam Newton. I think he got way more heart. And I think just that dual threat of I can go get some yards and get out of bounds when we need some first and we up and we trying to keep this lead. Or you know what I mean? I think they play the Chiefs next, though. That's going to be a nice one to see what Lamar really about.
In Arrowhead, too. So.
That's going to be a great one. But JD, top 2?
Nigga,
you think
7 TDs with nigga with no interceptions, my nigga. Hit for 160, 120 on the ground last week. He then threw for almost 600 yards in 2 games, man. The young fella ain't playing. I don't think the nigga slowing down.
I'm not a hater though. I fuck with Lamar Jackson, but it was against Miami and Arizona that tempered the expectations a little bit.
Man,
I don't think it tempered it. I think it showed you who he really is.
Or who they trying to make.
But I mean, it's good.
But the nigga, he didn't run the ball in the first game, nigga. He just picked them apart. Nigga, the second game, he still was picking niggas apart, bro.
I only say that, I'm going to cut you off, just because I felt that way about Tom Brady and the Patriots this weekend. Like, I was just playing with Miami. So I got to feel like that with Lamar Jackson,
but they did the same thing against Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
defense nice though.
Pittsburgh gave up big play after big play after big play to Seattle.
They got
I got the field goal kicker, and every time the nigga scored, I was like, God damn.
Hey man, let's talk. Why you talking about disappointments, right? And we just talked about Lamar really could. Let's get into some disappointing players, and I'm only gonna throw this one out there because we're just talking about Lamar and the type of quarterback he is. But Cam Newton,
obvious number 1.
Is it mental with him? Because I feel like all the little dressing up he's doing for attention, I feel like he's going through something and he's trying to take the attention off of how bad he's playing or something. Like, or you know, I know he's in the fashion and the Westbrooks and
that nigga back.
They hold him back?
I feel like,
How?
yeah,
That nigga ain't even running the fucking ball, bro. They not letting him be the fucking nigga that does this. I mean, the guy that does this shit.
But he can't
Oh,
stay healthy when
It
he
looked
do
like
that
him
all
happy.
lately.
And you used to always seeing him smile and all that. Like,
But this is the thing though, the
Right,
defense
bro.
look like they pretty solid, right?
Still,
Did you
they
see
is.
some of the throws that he's missing?
He's missing about
They-
about
like,
3-4
why are you
yards
not
higher.
happy
But
with
they
these-
changed. They was trying to
body
change his
language.
fucking throwing motion over the year. After he got done with the surgery, nigga, their shoulder surgery, they tried to change his throwing motion going into the season with some weird shit.
I think it's because he was taking all them hits, and the NFL wasn't like throwing the flag. The niggas wasn't throwing the flag. Everybody else
So
protected the
big.
quarterback.
Mhm.
But Cam was the
He doesn't
only
get
one.
protected at all.
Like literally, like they wouldn't get
Right.
flags thrown.
No, he's right.
People
Nah,
wasn't
he-
getting fined when they hit him.
Yeah.
He doesn't get no protection. He don't get no protection.
But shit, but nigga, fucking like how we touched on it on the first week though, nigga. Motherfucking Samuel had targets with receptions, didn't break off when DJ Moore had this shit, and motherfucking the Olsen. All three of them niggas ate, bro. On my mama.
But you should see how many targets they missed.
Yeah.
Right, no,
Samuel
I
had
hear you.
14 targets or something.
I understand
6
that.
catches.
But
Yeah.
They
what
got
I'm
that stat
saying
out there.
is-
They got catchable target.
Yeah.
That's a
Fantasy
stat.
wise,
agree.
nigga, the volume is there for all the niggas that we just said. I mean,
Yeah.
C-Mac didn't do nothing, but I think if the nigga,
Yes.
if it ain't nothing wrong with anything in his shoulder or throwing motion or anything, I think if it's a leg or anything like that, which I think it ain't showing nothing's ripped or nothing, nigga, he'll be all right.
No,
They just he gotta.
Fine.
Later on in the season, he gonna pick it up, bro.
Don't get me wrong. Everybody on the Panthers damn near startable
Mhm.
except King.
Right.
As of
Then
right
it's a
now,
toss-up.
as of right now, yeah.
Yeah, like
Without a
he's
doubt.
droppable right now.
No, he
I
is.
dropped
He's
him.
a part.
I dropped you. I dropped you, Kev. I'm not
He's on
dealing
the
with that.
wire.
But
I
I
went and picked up Justice Hill, and I'm gonna sit on him till Ingram gets
Yeah,
back.
no, I understand that, but I just think, nigga, the volume is there for. We just showed all three of the main receivers just ate. Nigga, pretty soon that shit will start clicking though, bro.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know?
It ain't
It was
no-
only scored like
I mean-
16 points, 13 points, nigga, this Thursday night.
Yeah.
Nigga, just imagine if they would have, everybody else would have scored.
But is Cam really that quarterback that's accurate as hell though? Like, you know what I'm
Not
saying? When he's locked in, that's what I think what you were saying is kind of real about it. It's something that's going on mentally because when he's locked in, he'll zip it in there like, you know what I'm saying? I got that. But he doesn't even seem like he has that level of focus right
But he
now.
never been an accurate quarterback like he was just saying. Though. He never really.
Give me one of y'all. Give me one. Each one of y'all. Give me one of your biggest disappointments so far. I know it's only week 2, but give me some disappointment.
Mixon off. I know you can argue he's hurt, but he was healthy enough to play last week. I mean, shout out to y'all, man. That's defense, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, overall, he ain't looking, you know what I'm saying? He's not looking like he's intentionally running that hard or whatnot. And I mean, I think their offense isn't as bad as everybody's giving him a look, the Bengals wise, but he's not showing anything.
I like their offense for the receivers. Right
Oh, yeah,
now.
I love it.
They're being tricky.
Well, especially with Zach,
Yeah.
we called it Zach Taylor. That's what
Yeah,
we called
John
McVay,
John
John
Ross and boy,
Bonds,
nigga.
AJ coming back soon too.
AJ
Like,
coming
that's
back.
gonna be a little bit of a
Yeah.
problem.
Alright.
That's what's going
But
on.
nigga, they got down to their fourth string tackle and shit, so
Yeah.
their line is a
That's
little
probably a
fucked
big
up.
reason with Mixon too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they still gonna produce over there though. They've been producing John Ross and fucking
Mixon had like 6
Boy.
and 5
Boy,
points
yeah,
back to
that's
back
what
weeks.
I'm saying.
Right.
So look,
Heard.
so they gonna be alright. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna try to get him from you later.
Yeah. I wouldn't give up
I didn't say I'm giving up on
Switch him and Mike Evans because that's who's on my list. That's
Hey,
who's next for me.
look, I was just about to say, I got 2 disappointments
Yeah.
now on the same team.
Oh,
Mike
yeah.
Evans and O.J. Howard.
Oh.
Talk to me.
Oh, boy.
Talk to me.
I can tell you all about O.J. Howard because I got him too. That nigga gave me
Man,
zero
that's a
donut this week,
But I
bro.
think everybody in our league knew how well 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 6 was about where he was going in drafts. But like I
Yeah,
said,
that's
it's
what
week
I
3,
see.
so that don't even matter no more. But O.J. Howard, you heard Arians called him out. Like, it's something he ain't doing. He ain't. You feel me?
But Arians also never uses the tight
Never,
end.
but he's never had a
It
O.J.
could
Howard
have
either.
been.
though.
People thought it was lack of talent, but maybe it's like a McVay thing. McVay don't use tight ends like that either.
Nah, he
so
really
He don't.
He
I'm
doesn't.
gonna tell
it
you,
could just be the offense.
I think what y'all think about Mike Evans as far as his disappointment. We kind of already touched on it a little bit. I just think it's just one of them things.
Are you
it's
frustrated
kind
right
of
now?
like him. It's a body
I mean,
language thing.
if I could squeak 2 wins with him having a low score like I just did, I'm gonna deal with that.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean?
Right,
But I'd
right.
much rather have Godwin, like I said on the last podcast. I think you just gotta wait on both of them. I think on OJ Howard, the tight end spot is so thin that somebody like OJ Howard, or I don't know if you about to touch on TJ Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that might just be kind of the game script with him. It's gonna be hit or miss. But a lot of the tight ends right now are really, really, really hit or miss unless you got them 4 or 5 that matter.
The top three. The top three. I mean, you got the top 3 that we already know going into the shit, but the other one that's making the push though is fucking Andrews. That's the only one. Ain't none of them other dudes for the last back-to-back weeks did nothing. You had Delaney do his shit last week, but this week, you know what I mean? Nigga, Andrews is looking like he's finna be that guy. But we're not talking about disappointments, but how you said about Hawkinson, yeah, he's a disappointment for me this week, but I should have known on a new player, just not to that I picked up off the wire just to throw him in there. I should have let that nigga Ebron, which was a hard to start for me going into last week. I should have let Ebron try to redeem himself, in which he did, and it kind of fucked me up though, nigga, in the game, because nigga only lost by 11, and fucking Hawkinson had 1, but Ebron had 11. So I was still down by 1 point, but fuck.
That's a good little play. 'Cause I almost got Vernon Davis off the wire.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck it, let me just rock with McDonald, and he ended up.
So you stuck with your gut. That's what I was supposed to do, and I fucked up. But I ain't giving up on Hawkinson though.
Y'all got anything to add on Hawkinson? How you feel about Hawkinson?
Hawkinson, I like him. I think he's gonna be all right for the season. I think OJ is gonna be interesting to watch him though, because he can still go off, and it's still early in the Arians' offense. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of reasons to feel. You know what I'm saying? He might go something, but I still like Hawkinson early right now over OJ because I feel like he's got a quarterback that's gonna make sure he gets the looks.
You got OJ in ALB?
Nah, yeah, I got him.
Hey, my advice: dump all Buccaneers players except Godwin. Period. But look, since we was talking about, look, this is what we really want to do. We're gonna get into this wire ads. You know, it's important. Most league starts. Since we were just talking about, I don't have a specific order on quarterbacks to add. But let's start off with quarterbacks, and I want to jump into how you said Ebron redeemed himself. What you think about the top wire ad? One of them being, for me, I would say if you got a good quarterback, but you just want some insurance, Jacoby Brissett.
Fuck yeah. Nigga, Brissett, nigga is looking alright.
He ain't even throwing for a lot of yards.
Man.
So imagine when he do.
He got the guys that get yacked though.
Right.
I called it for one.
What's his stats
week
looking
one
like?
episode on the post.
The nigga got 5 TDs and only 1 pick, bro.
5 TDs.
Nigga, he had to play on the road, nigga, at fucking San Diego. And I think yesterday was a road game for them niggas at Tennessee.
Los Angeles.
He's got it.
So that's what I'm saying. So they opened up on the road, and this nigga got 5 TDs and 1 pick.
2 in each game.
Nigga, I'm telling you,
and
bro.
only under 200 yards. So imagine, and then bro, and then their next schedule it gets easier. Atlanta, Oakland, KC, Houston, Denver, Pittsburgh, Miami, Jacksonville, Houston.
That's food for you right
there. Ooh, hey, y'all let him sit on the wire. He will be my backup.
That's why the motherfucking.
I'll tell you that.
The Breeze owners and the fucking Big Ben, you niggas, man. You niggas might be on the panic mode right now, but nigga, you might want to go get Brissett, my nigga.
What about somebody like who? I know y'all got Andy Dalton on your list.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got Dalton on
the
there.
Red Rifle, man, look, he's consistent. You know what you're gonna get from him. You know what I'm saying? Bare minimum 12 might get you 30. You know what I'm saying? But he's consistent every time. I mean, and to go back, I'm gonna go back a little bit on it only because there's certain quarterbacks, and this is why I think Russ is the top 3 that make regular receivers look better. You know what I'm saying? Dalton, for everything that he's not, he does know how to make a receiver out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Be it Boyd came up, you know what I'm saying, back when he had Marvin Jones going crazy there, you know what I'm saying? He's always found somebody that, you know what I'm saying, he looked up. Same thing with Russ, you know what I mean? Russ will make another receiver something else. So Dalton's a solid pick. If you need somebody, especially if you just got hurt with Breeze,
yeah.
I mean,
418 yards, 2 touchdowns week 1. 311 passing yards, 2 TDs week 2. They got Buffalo, Pitt, Arizona next 3.
With only 1 pick.
One pick.
And he can sneak a rushing touchdown every now and then.
Because they throwing, we know the Bengals going to be down. They're throwing the ball.
Absolutely.
Now, I didn't have Dalton and depended on him, and he gets you 11 or 12. He throw 4 interceptions in a game. But, you know, like they said, if you Breeze owner, Big Ben owner, Cam owner, he might be somebody else. And I know another person y'all got. Who's one of your favorites? Josh Allen?
Yeah, I'm a Josh Allen guy. Just because of the legs, like I was saying with Lamar, somebody that can throw a touchdown, go run a touchdown. They're going to be down in the games. Of course, they'll be having to throw a lot. And shit, he gonna get you around 20 points. I feel like almost like he got.
He was doing that last year.
He got what they call it. They got a high. He got a high floor.
Yeah, he did.
Because of his legs. So I think where Andy Dalton, he got a low floor.
Yeah,
like
that's
you said,
right.
he could get you that 30, but he might get you like 8 one day or something. If he don't hit a deep ball to John Ross, then you kind of stuck.
Hey, a lot of John Ross's catches been little plays where he making it happen after the catch. Though.
Especially the last one in garbage time, nigga. He took that one to the house.
He was wide open on a little wheel route. And they ran the same play. I think they ran it with Boyd and he dropped it.
But that's one,
especially.
I think all three of them is going to be worth starting when AJ come back. I think Zach Taylor got something for all three of them dudes.
I think it's more Zach Taylor than Andy Dalton for sure.
But Josh Allen, you know what I like about him though? A passing TD and a rushing TD in each game. Like you said, he gonna get you that 17, 18. He was doing it last year. He was getting 20 plus. He may not be the most accurate, but another person I like, if he's not already on the wire, is John Brown over there. John Brown. He shouldn't be on the wire, but he's looking nice over there.
John Brown was great for him because that gives him somebody who can yak it, of course, but to take the top off. Because one thing about Josh Allen, man, he has arms.
And he's getting out that pocket to make it happen. He's not going to sit in the pocket.
You're looking at a confident thrower this year. Like when I was looking at it, and Cole Beasley's another ad I think that you got to look at because I haven't. As a matter of fact, I think I drafted him at one point. But the reality is, if you're willing to go ahead and fire it inside the hashes like that, you're looking at the field different. You know what I'm saying? I think the game's finally slowed down for him, where you know what I'm saying he can make a lot of those plays where his arm strength really gets to show out. He just ain't got the weapons yet. So John Brown, over the time.
I like John Brown too because Allen gonna get out that pocket a little bit, and John Brown he gonna be that. Like when you playing Madden and you do the user make the receiver go that way, he go. You know what I mean? He go. But look, I'm gonna say this: it's been a lot of injuries. I think quarterbacks. It's a few other quarterbacks I think you could take a chance on depending on your situation. But what y'all think about wide receivers? Number one, we're gonna just start at number one because why not? I know who your number one is. It's your guy.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry.
What's his last name? I just
McLaren.
He the number one by far. I think that he on 99% of the snaps. Like Paul Richard and Byron Jones was on him last week, so that tell you what the defense is thinking. Who the number one is? If they wouldn't even tripping on Paul Richard.
7 targets and 9 targets.
Yeah,
man, he's getting it.
And got him really thugged out. 6 receptions,
5 catches in both,
and a touchdown and a TD in both. And he did it different ways. That's what he did it with the deep ball week 1. Case Keenum missed him on another one, and this one he did the little short intermediate routes and kind of routed some guys. So his routes a little bit. So I'm fucking with Scary Terry for sure.
So he's in your lineup this week.
He's in my lineup.
Hey,
over Will Fuller.
Hey, look, this is Mr. Hard to start it. Look, when you put the wrong player in, they call it Kev. You Kev yourself. You know what I mean? It turned to hard to start, but sometimes it's Kev yourself. But this is Mr. Hard to start right here because he had Mozart in at the beginning of the week. He ended up winning and blowing him out. But I knew he was going to take him out. I think I threw a stat in there like Wilson. Yeah. Which you might have should have grabbed him on DraftKings. I gotta start dropping.
He always think. I said he always think he has some.
Scary Terry, look, but we gonna get back. Look, Scary Terry, what you think, man?
Man, I'm adding him if I had the chance.
He in the lineup this week versus Chicago. That's how confident I am right now. I hope I ain't.
Whoa, no, you're not.
You're
not right with that.
Emmanuel Sanders just went off on Chicago. You worried about no fucking Chicago?
Yeah, we'll check back in next week. Next Monday. Next Tuesday.
What's the ball prediction?
I'm starting. I got to though, really.
Say that shit.
Clear it up then.
Hey, you got something to add? Scary Terry.
Clear it up.
Scary Terry. Scary Terry though. First week 24 points PPR. Second week 17. He's definitely like a starter.
My nigga is Debo. Nigga, don't add Debo right now.
Debo shouldn't be on the wire. If you in 12 plus team leagues, he probably shouldn't be on the wire. That's your boy. Talk to us about Debo.
Don't get Debo. This nigga is taking over the number 1 wide receiver spot, nigga, right out the jump, nigga, from the first week, bro. This nigga's going for Nigga 7 targets this game, nigga with 80 yards, nigga 2 rushing attempts, nigga for 7. He might break one of them reverses or something, bro. I'm telling you, man, Jimmy is fucking with him. Jimmy see the confidence in the young nigga. He's gonna go feed him the ball, bro. Oh my mama, you better go get him right now, man.
I'm gonna go with one that might not be on a lot of people's radar, but he should. DJ Shark. Because even when Foles was in the game, he was looking for him already. He got in with Minshew, you know what I'm saying? Again, that backup quarterback, working with those 3rd and 4th receivers. And that's his man. And
everybody was loving D.D. Westbrook.
He's the best route runner ever.
Hey,
the hype for him was real this summer.
I didn't buy DJ Chark until after the first game.
Right.
I'm like, how can you deny that? I mean, come on.
He would have killed with Foles though. For sure.
You think so?
He had a touchdown.
He did have a touchdown, but I'm still not high on him just because I feel like he's a limited player. He's a route running back.
Hey, gotta get Scary Terry. Gotta get Deebo Samuel. DJ Chark is definitely another dude. But after on Sunday night when Alshon nursing that hammy, Mr. Aguilar came in and did what he did. Nelson Aguilar.
Fucking dropped the touchdown.
Nelson, he did drop his shit. He's good for dropping shit.
He gonna drop
He's good for dropping shit.
Him and Shark are both that.
I don't even want Aguilar. I just think Ertz value's way up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think Ertz value way up. But I think Aguilar is somebody to add.
Aguilar's a good play every now and then.
Yeah, he's gonna be a nigga if either Alshon or Deshaun nigga is gone for any amount of weeks, nigga, you can start Aguilar as your flex right now.
I dare y'all to start him.
You can't,
starting him over Terry or Debo though?
Nah. Because nigga Carson gonna feed him, bro.
Ertz number 1 though.
So what? That don't mean nigga he's still not gonna get no.
I started him over Debo. I wouldn't start him over.
I gotta see what Aguilar's best game is.
Aguilar always come in and miss the opportunity. But look, I'm gonna say something else, right? I don't mean to cut y'all off, but probably one of the biggest things to talk about this week as far as wide receivers on the waiver wire list, because we are talking about adding players, would be DeMarcus Robinson and McCall Hardman. I'll tell y'all what I think after I hear what y'all think. What you think?
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
I feel like you got to roster either one of them. You got to.
I mean, they both should be on rosters right now.
You got to roster.
Yeah, they all should be on all 4 of them. Even Hill, nigga Sammy, and then the 2 niggas you just said. Y'all just said, but. It's hit and miss, nigga. Flip a coin. Sammy had the motherfucking target.
If they're on the wire, they're gonna be a hot pickup.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but you just can't throw one of them, nigga. That's a dart throw in your motherfucking lineup, my nigga.
If you gotta play one of them, you're probably in trouble right now.
Man.
Yeah,
but people,
except for Sammy though.
But people playing Sammy over their studs.
That's true.
But
man,
no.
Man, no. Everybody threw Sammy in this week.
Over who though?
It depends on who they had on their team.
That's why I never trust Sammy though, because Sammy will do that to you every
The
week.
nigga had 11 targets though, bro. They just wasn't connected. My nigga Conley was on the nigga, bro.
I put DeMarcus Robinson, McCall Hardman, and Sammy all in the same subject. I'm gonna try to trade all of them, but I will say out of DeMarcus Robinson and McCall Hardman, I would probably go with Robinson because he's a vet. Hardman's a rookie, but they did draft McCall Hardman early. They gonna get him, but I think like y'all said, it's a coin flip on
that shit is once in a blue moon, my nigga. That nigga Robinson ain't finna be putting up 170s.
But I think all 3 of them, Watkins, him and him, they're all in the same. Flip a coin.
I understand that, so niggas gonna be a lot of more boom than butts. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of more bust than boom.
If you on the waiver wire trying to add some people, you need.
No, I understand.
But I wouldn't be comfortable starting.
I'm talking about putting them in my lineup.
I wouldn't be comfortable
starting. That's what I'm saying, bro.
But if I had him, I might be trying to trade him.
Yeah, no, I understand that, bro.
I'm throwing him in something.
Them niggas, man, is not.
I feel like
every week starters, bro. No.
If you lucky enough to have that number 1 and number 2 waiver wire pick, you got to pick between them. Long term, I want Hardman. Immediate, I want Robinson because Robinson's a better route runner right now. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be able to get you more that regard, but Hardman's a better talent.
I'm holding the pick. I'm not spending my number 1 pick. We don't do 5 points here.
Only way Hardman or motherfucking Robinson gets more as a prominent role, niggas, if another nigga go down besides him.
Yeah.
Other than that, nigga, them niggas is all, nigga.
They all going deep.
Nigga, them is motherfucking DraftKings players, my nigga. That you buy on the low, bro, and you know, you home base.
So look,
Let's
let's get into another tandem, right? That's on the same team. I want what y'all think about Devin Smith and Randall Cobb as ads. What you think?
I'm fucking with Smith.
Oh, Cobb. Cobb got touchdown week 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he already got a little bit.
Yeah, so did Devin Smith caught a touchdown
Did he
too.
week 1?
Oh, my
No,
man,
not
he
week
caught
1.
one.
I have to look at
Nah,
like,
he caught one
this
last
week.
week.
Oh, last week.
Yeah, but nigga, he caught one too though.
What else did he do?
Man, he caught all 3 of his targets for 74 yards.
I like him better as a player and speed wise. I'm just not sure he's gonna see as many targets as Cobb is. Cobb's gonna see more targets.
I think Cobb is going to see more targets.
Yeah, he can see more targets, but is he gonna catch all them targets? This nigga's going.
Cobb?
He taking the Gallup role right now. Nigga, Gallup is nasty.
Devin Smith,
nigga, are you serious?
Like you said, 3 targets, 3 receptions, 74 yards. He got points from a 40-yard reception TD. So in our league, you get bonus points. That's cool, but I think, like you said, Cobb is the possession receiver. I think Cobb's role gonna grow a little bit, or they gonna run more.
That's cool, but when you got this nigga that's doing what Gallup was doing though, bro, that shit, they not slowing down either. They trying to put 40s on niggas too right now.
So you grabbing Devin Smith, you grabbing Cobb. If I had to, I might take Cobb. I want to see one more week.
I'm not putting a claim on these niggas.
Yeah,
I'm not putting a claim, but nigga, I ain't out there.
Until midnight.
My Lord said, nigga, for 12:02 a.m.
We set our alarms for the wire out here.
Motherfucking right.
Dumpster diving. We call it dumpster diving.
I thought that was just me.
So you got to understand though, when we talking about on the wire, nigga, by putting in a claim or just waiting to see if a nigga fall, nigga, a lot of these niggas you can't go put a claim on and waste them on, bro. You got to know who you want really that bad or who you might think might fall, nigga, after midnight on everything.
I'm gonna give you, can I give you another one? That's somebody I think everybody should be adding right now. If he's on the wire, or it would be Golden Tate. I think it's time to grab him.
I'm gonna draft Golden Tate. Didn't somebody draft him?
I'm pretty sure, but I think he's been on some wires I didn't see. He probably shouldn't be, but if he's out there, you should definitely grab him. Or somebody that you mentioned earlier, Ryan, Cole Beasley.
Oh yeah, Cole Beasley. He's a target monster, especially for Allen. Allen's looking at him, and I see that in the preseason. The first couple games, he's looking straight to him immediately off the bat. So he might not get you 120 yards, but he will get you 8 catches for 80.
Yeah, well, I would fuck with Beasley.
Just another person I think got dropped a lot was Allison. He was getting, I dropped him immediately. I'm gonna be honest. But in a couple leagues.
But what do you expect from him? I want to ask y'all that question because
touchdown dependent, big play, but you want one of them other receivers to gain a role in
you kind of do gotta get.
You want to see who's gonna be the one out of him and MVS.
It's gotta be one of them.
You know what I mean? And I think Allison, you know, he's still trying to get that rapport. But if I had to add him, you know, these is people that you gonna stash because you kind of see.
Like I said, we're not gonna use no claim on them niggas. We just
so look, I know who y'all want. So it's fair to say that using the claim this week would definitely be Debo, Scary Terry, maybe DJ Chark if he's not grabbed, which he's grabbed in both my league. But I think the number one waiver wires this week would be running backs, right? Is that what y'all? I mean, quarterback.
Two quarterbacks just went down.
2 quarterbacks went down.
Quarterbacks.
What about running backs? Mostert.
You got to go get Mostert, bro.
I don't think he's a number one ad though.
Who's the number one ad?
I think
for the running back.
Running back.
Well, it depends on.
Running back.
It depends on the need. So
Yeah.
It probably will be Mozart.
But it seemed like running backs is always more in need than a wide receiver. So
yeah.
You know, Mostert. I mean, what y'all think about it? We already know what y'all think. Any 2 running backs that's the 1 and 2 in 49ers starter. You feel the same way?
Absolutely.
I think we touched on it. The only thing I don't like about Mostert, like I said, is they about to be on a bye. Then Tevin Coleman eventually come back. They paid him. You know, you want everybody. You want to be fresh, so they use all of them if they got to.
Right.
But I think another one, if he's still out there, would be your boy Ito.
Facts.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to go get it. I mean, Ito ain't on the wire. I mean, what was the stat?
He's less than 50% on.
Oh yeah, that's big, man. Shit, if he's available in your league, you better go.
Shout out to my boy Zach. He a Falcons fan, but he did say Ito because Freeman cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
He a diehard Falcons fan. Zach said go get Ito Smith
Facts.
before the season starts.
It's a matter of time before, even if Freeman don't get hurt, I feel
Yeah,
like it's
right.
a matter of time until.
And you can see his jump too.
Yeah, he got like a little bit of spark.
What was
coming
that
off
carry
Garrison.
split?
I think
He was
2
like-
weeks in a row.
Well, I know they on the snap count last week, the first week, nigga, Freeman only, no, it was 24 to 26 or something like that. So it was basically only 2. You know what I mean? But what it was yesterday though is Ito got them carries and got to breaking off like them 5 and 6 yard runs though, bro. He had like 8 carries for 40 yards or some shit like that,
What's
bro.
crazy watching both of them is Ito's running how Freeman did 2 years ago, where he's being a lot more patient with it and knowing when to explode. 'Cause that's when Freeman's dangerous, you know what I'm saying, when we slow him down. And then it's like Freeman's just like, let me get the yards I can get right now.
Pressing.
Yeah.
Trying to do too much probably.
Trying to get paid.
Is Freeman going to be on the wire by the end of the season?
Nah,
Like,
we're
within a
drafting
couple
him.
weeks, bro.
You can't drop
I don't
running
think
backs
you can.
like that.
You can't. No, I
It's the
feel like
reason why people
you
hold
can't drop your
handcuffs.
first 3 anyway.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
it. We only
reason
third
why
round.
it's the
though.
reason why
Like,
people hold
fuck
handcuffs
that.
though. You gotta keep a handcuff like that. If he turns into a starter.
But I'm saying, is he going to make it through the season? Though?
No, somebody's gonna. That nigga's gonna drop it. Because Eddie's in the. He's hurt. Hey, on my mama, and he's in his lineup.
Did
bro.
Reese lose this week?
Reese is hurt right
Hey,
now.
shout out to the new member this year, man. He added in the league. And this is looking
No
ugly
QB.
right now. No QB.
Oh,
Man.
Shit, crazy.
No
I'm
tight end.
telling you.
Oh.
I know he got Olsen.
Hey, you know what I forgot? I'm sure
He's got to make decisions.
if Connor missed any time, is Jalen Samuel somebody you gotta add?
Even now.
I mean, yeah, you gotta add him if he
You gotta
there.
get him now. They
But
gonna
yeah.
run the ball probably.
If that nigga miss any time though, too, though,
He say he
nigga,
ain't gonna miss no time though.
or if shit to get the lingering and he can't make it, nigga, go get Benny Snell too, my nigga. On my
Hey,
mama, nigga, little
I
deep
like how
diver,
you
nigga.
thinking.
Yeah,
I like how you thinking.
Just you know,
Benny
somebody
Snell was
else.
somebody I wasn't gonna mention.
Niggas on the depth
I was
chart.
not
Look at
gonna
that.
Who's the third string really maxing on the
Stop
team?
it.
Jeff Mason.
That's that rookie out of Kentucky, boy.
Yeah,
Benny, you ain't the only one that know about Snell.
He got a
Hey,
touchdown.
Nah, he ain't got nothing but a
He
carry.
waiting. He waiting. He
But
waiting.
nigga,
man.
he's definitely
They gonna
somebody.
be grabbing him. Watch dumpster diving. What you say?
He said, I
No,
to
no,
mention
I'm
Benny
just saying.
Snell.
Hey,
They got
keep
one
him on the
touch.
Like, let's skip Benny Frank Gore. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
desperate. They gonna add
Yeah,
Frank
nah,
Gore.
you gotta ask
Cam
Frank
try to
Gore.
hold out on the podcast. Give the people what they want.
Yeah,
Benny
tell them
Snell.
Hey,
what-
Benny
Come on,
Snell, man.
G
Stash Benny.
G picking him up right now.
G for sure picking him up. 0-2. 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
2-14. Anyway, hey, Benny Snell, Justice Hill is somebody I'm stashing for sure. Depending on how deep I am. But Frank Gore, everybody adding young
I would
fry all
fuck
the
with
time,
Frank
man.
Gore. Nigga, just as much I would fuck with Frank Gore, nigga, I keep telling you niggas about Peyton Barber, nigga. I'm like, mama, I'm telling you about Barber, my nigga.
Look.
Go get Barber, bruh.
Look,
Facts.
Barber, I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't have Barber a couple seasons, because I seen the same thing. I'm like, all right, bare minimum, he's going to be the starting back. He's going to get the carries. Cold part about it, he has a low floor. He's just like Andy Dalton, running back. You know what I'm saying? He might get you 2 on the week, and on a high get you 16. But you hoping for that 8 to 12. You get 8 to 12 out, and you like, I can
That
live
8
with
to
it.
12 is gonna
You
be
hoping-
on one of my bye weeks.
You
That nigga.
You hoping Arians play a factor in?
Yeah, nah, I mean, you seen it on
It's
Thursday
the
night
same
game
production,
though,
though.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You seen it
No,
on
Hey,
he was
it ain't your boy. What you called Jones? What you called him?
Who?
Ronald Jones? What you call him?
Rojo?
Rojo.
Yeah. That nigga's a
That's all
hojo.
for Rojo.
He's a no-jo. He's a hojo. He's a hojo. Shout out to Wood who was forced to start that nigga. Oh my goodness.
If you could hold on to a
Wait,
number
this
one
week?
wire pick,
Yeah.
He still beat
And-
your ass?
No, in Ashland. I played Wood in Ashland and he had to start rolling Jones.
right there.
But Nash,
Hey.
I ain't even brought up Nash, but Nash ain't even the conversation over there.
We'll see. I play you this week.
It ain't no
I play you this
competition
week
over here.
before. The winter backs is
I said it's not a
Winter's
question.
coming.
I said it's not a question.
I ain't
It's
Hold on, we can get back to that in a second, right?
You killing the Nashi?
Nah, he
killing
won
that.
because he 0-2 at ALB.
Nah, because it
That's
ain't no
what
live
I'm
drafting.
Because he drafted without
Because
after
it ain't
we
no,
drafted.
it ain't no live draft. It ain't no steroids
It's a
in the
different.
ALB.
It's a different draft altogether.
That's why we
And
saw
it's
Ashley
people on
and
the board in the
Jamie.
sixth round. Like, what is you doing?
Like you picked Balaz in the fifth and then
look.
dropped
Hey,
it.
Trubisky,
Hey,
nigga,
drop
you
it.
already got you. Come
Hey,
on,
Ashley.
bro.
Look, I'm gonna keep
What
it a
are
buck
you
with you.
doing, my
Hey,
nigga?
this is the leader of the shooter
Look,
right here.
look, look.
Hey, we talking about the
Hey,
shit.
shit,
This nigga's a driver.
Wait. It should, but what round did I draft him in the National?
Too low. Too high.
You said 5 or 6, though, right?
Nobody drafted Caleb Elijah.
Come on, bro.
Back to back with
Bruh.
Look,
This nigga
you
drafted
have
golf
disappointment.
that high.
You have disappointment with things that didn't
Hey, he
work
got
out.
2 rings though.
I'll take it here with y'all because I'm gonna break it down. Because I'm gonna be honest, I got burned by it. It was a pick. It's a pick.
Shook ones.
It ain't shook. It ain't shook,
Bro,
bro.
look
Look.
where you took Trubisky, man. Nigga, on my
That's
ball.
your number one quarterback.
He was
Look.
drunk at the pool
Nah,
party.
Hey, he was drunk at the
Yeah,
pool
was
party.
giving
Hey,
it
I
to
can,
him.
I can show you the draft board because
We're gonna let you redeem yourself live next week.
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk
Who
about it.
you
real
play
quick.
this week?
Who do I play this?
Me. It's over.
LB?
0-3. 0-3 on the way.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, man.
He said you
I didn't even know till I thought of it. I got even both leagues. You for sure got to come back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look, y'all, look.
We
We can't cheat the public, right? Look, we sorry for that. That's ALB shit right there. Look, we got to talk about tight ends because it's a thin position right now. Everybody hurt. We got 3 tight ends. I know y'all, maybe 2 or 1 y'all. I know you might love. Who y'all got? Talk to me.
Disley off top.
Disley?
Disley. You gotta get him.
Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not adding that nigga.
What if you got OJ Howard though, or
Oh yeah, no, you got up.
or you just lost Hunter Henry and don't got a backup? You get Disley?
Yeah, if I got one of them niggas,
You finna be dizzy with Disley.
we seen Disley do this shit last year before that nigga had a 2+ touchdown game.
Well, so who's the tight end at? I would say probably a touch. If you thirsty, I would say probably Jason Witten. Because he
Yeah,
gets you a
nah.
touchdown.
I mean, he scored in back-to-back
He
games.
gets you 8 or
He
9.
going for Gates last year. 2 catches,
Right.
and one of them a touchdown.
Right. Tight end, then you better go get Herndon.
You better go trade.
You better go
Trade
get Herndon,
move.
my nigga.
Trade
Herndon's
for
a
Waller. Waller's somebody's second tight end.
Go trade for Waller. Like I've been trying to sell him, but they ain't want to. You know.
Chris
what I mean?
Herndon, my nigga. He
Chris
come
Herndon.
back, nigga, next week. No, at week 5.
2
So
weeks.
go get him
Okay.
They
now.
got to buy. So
Yeah,
2 weeks.
so go get him right now, my nigga.
Chris Herndon.
On
You
my mouth.
got anybody to add just overall? You think? What you think?
Overall,
Wire ass. Deep sleep.
I like Paris Campbell. We were talking about him earlier.
Yeah,
I like him.
Paris Campbell.
Yeah, rookie receiver kind of tough as the weeks
Yeah.
go. He gonna start to get better. You might want to get him down.
Another home run pick is homer pick is Marquise Goodwin, bro.
Yeah.
He been out snapping fucking Dante Pettis, who was going into the summertime, going into drafts, a 5th, 6th, 7th round pick. Nigga ain't doing nothing. Go get Marquise Goodwin, bro. On everything. I think the last 5 games when Jimmy first came to the Niners, him and Goodwin had a good rapport. Goodwin was killing. I think they can get back on track, nigga. Yes, he was, and that was a Shanahan scheme up play that he did. So nigga, go get Goodwin, nigga, as a deep dive for real, and go get Garoppolo though, bro. Nigga, Garoppolo still might be sitting on you. On my money, he might be sitting on your rock, man. I'm telling
Some were
you.
trying to trade him off. Some was trying to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying?
Jimmy, go get
Everybody
Jimmy
be
G.
sucking
No,
McVay,
you got to go
sucking
get
Sean
Jimmy.
Payton.
I'm telling you, my
Give
man.
Shanahan
This
his
nigga
due
shit
right now.
facts,
They
my
got the
nigga. I'm
Niners.
telling you, bro.
Look, I get all the Niner love, bro. Like, y'all,
Fuck the
relax.
Cowboys.
It's been terrible defenses.
Nah, but I'm loving y'all big 3 right now, my nigga. Fantasy
Fuck
wise,
the
nigga.
Cowboys.
Zeke, Dak, and fucking Coop, nigga. That big 3
Cowboys
right now.
nasty right now.
Nigga, we got a nigga in the league. I just played a nigga in the league,
They
nigga,
nasty.
that got Dak and Zeke, my nigga. And that nigga, bro, I'm telling you, bro.
I gave
I'm
the
telling
Cowboys
you.
my respect last week or the week before. Like I said, they
Nigga,
might
fantasy
be
wise, nigga.
Hey, well, I say this though. Look, next we're gonna try to bring y'all 2 shows. Not try. We're gonna bring y'all 2 shows like we just did with the wire pickups. You know what I mean? The recap, and then we're gonna come in the week again in a couple days, and we're gonna come with matchups we love, DraftKings advice, hard to starts. Add us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Again, hard to starts. We want to talk about that. And like I said, this episode 3 is another successful one. Shout out to Ryan coming through. We always love. We're gonna have a lot of our ALB family members coming through. You know, it's family. We gonna talk loud and get on him, man. Y'all gonna hear about it. We'll update you on the co-host, man. Ryan with his season 0-2. We got my boy 1-1 Kurt here. 1-1 JD. 2-0 about to make him 0-3. But we just, having fun. But like I said.
That's
shout out
the
to
records,
Ryan.
man.
Hey, don't panic, nigga. It's the theme song for this week,
Don't
my nigga.
panic.
My mama,
Don't
do not panic on
If
your
you
fantasy
panic,
team, bro.
Hey, shout out to my boy
Hey.
Jeffrey, man, with the no fear all the way from
Facts,
Buffalo,
my nigga
man.
Dreams,
Hey,
my
believe
nigga.
in oneself,
My
man. Dreams in that ASCII league.
Tap in with him.
Facts.
Mm.